Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac. You heard of this game? It's pretty big. Came out October 2011. Holy crap, that is very nearly 3 years ago now. So if you don't pay attention, you might end up picking up My Best Friend and finding yourself in a terrible place because that item is bad, but Skinny Odd Mushroom is alright. Yeah, if you don't pay attention, it's easy to forget that this game has been pretty much a daily staple of my life for the past 3 years. Holy shit, if I keep playing this through to 2015... I could have maybe invested that time into getting some kind of 4-year degree, perhaps a Bachelor's of Science or a Bachelor's of Arts. That's a little scary. How long do people spend in med school? They just want to become like a general practitioner? Maybe I'm better off not knowing, in any case. I'm gonna become a surgeon of Isaac, you know? Who wants to be just a doctor when you could be one of the top 5% Binding of Isaac players in the world? Wow, this is, kind of a piss-poor first floor, like, curse room and item room situation. The only reason I went through, or secret room situation, I should say. The only reason I went through with that is because we had, oh, are you effing kidding me? The only reason I went through with that is because we had a little bit of extra HP kind of kicking around. This is actually, it's a good first floor because Skinny Odd Mushroom is a decent item. But if we die, then that doesn't really benefit us at all. I'm gonna take this pill just in case. Bombs are key. Well, truth be told, bombs are key is actually pretty useful for us, but, not unless we live. It's useful provided we actually survive to the next floor. Alright, so stop playing badly. Stop thinking Prague Police. Start thinking PlayStation. Why has XXX all of a sudden become such a hallmark for my references? I don't know. XXX is one of those movies that really actually defines my transition from child into young adult. It came out in 2002, and I remember this because it was the summer after 8th grade. So you can, you know, approximate my age there, but hey, I'll just do it for you. I'm super glad to have lived there, even though we don't have a reroll left. Yeah, I'm 25, so I went to see that with, like, my friends. I was probably about to turn 14, and that was, like, us becoming guys. We had, like, a guys' night out. What do you do on a guys' night out when you're 14? You go see XXX with fucking Vin Diesel, because he's a badass, and then we ate at Montana's. I believe I probably had the chicken tenders. Isn't that just an elegant metaphor for the awkward transition into adulthood? You think you're having a night out with your friends, but I'm over here at this, like, weird chain sports bar eating chicken fingers. Oh, those were the days. And I thought XXX was fucking sweet. And apparently a lot of people did because it got a sequel, but probably just on the strength of the fact that a lot of other 8th grade boys in my position went to see it. In any case, this has been a terrible run so far. You know, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Not terrible in the sense that we have bad items, just terrible in the sense that I'm taking some incredibly dumb damage and have already kind of screwed myself out of the likelihood of getting a deal with the devil on this floor. But as long as we can live and make progress for the next floor, I'll be fine with that. The real question here is, what happens if we don't get any HP on this room? Do I really want to go fight the boss with no HP? And the answer to that question is no, so I'll actually end up using a bomb here, maybe finding the second secret room. No, but at least getting a red heart. And we could still snag a deal with the devil if I don't take damage against this boss, which is actually pretty likely if we just put a bomb there. Alright, my pin strategy works out 100% now. Alright, we get super bandage. That'll protect us for the next floor, and maybe we can start building a half-decent run. I apologize, I got distracted, you know, wistful about my, my middle school days. In any case, let's move along. It's actually weird how I've come to think about some of those, you know, moments that were signposts in my transition into adulthood. A lot of them revolve around Vin Diesel movies. Like, when I was in 10th grade, I was like, better come to terms with it, man. I'm a nerd. So we went to see Chronicles of Riddick at the... we got Sacrificial Dagger there, which is fine, but I went to see Chronicles of Riddick at the movie theater with my other nerd friends, and I was like, that settles it, I'm a nerd. And then I saw it and I was like, I don't really like this movie, and I was like, that settles it, I'm kind of a snob. So it's weird how Vin Diesel has served as a landmark kind of movie actor for me. Even last week, you know, the day before Nick left, can't open that unfortunately, the day before Nick left, we went to see Guardians of the Galaxy, which I thought was excellent. But, yeah, Vin Diesel's in that one too. It's weird that, and, you know, I'm bald as well. I'm not sure if that actually factors into it in some ways, but, maybe Vin Diesel's been more of an influence on my life than I'd ever come to expect before in the past. Wow, this is like me bearing my soul here. I didn't expect this episode to start out like that. Alright, in any case, let's start talking about some Isaac stuff here. Thank God for that key. This run has not been great so far, but it for a not great run, it's worked out okay. We have a decent amount of HP. Obviously, we're not going to want to stick with the D20 as long as we have the D6 available. Guardian Angel plus Sacrificial Dagger makes a very nice 1-2 punch, and it's very conceivable that we'll get a full suite of orbitals because we, in all likelihood, will end up fighting either Pestilence, War, or Death, or maybe 2 of them, which is totally A-okay by me. And the most important thing is that we actually give ourselves a chance at a deal with the devil on this floor, which should be pretty plausible now that I have Super Bandage's Spirit Hearts backing me up. So Super Bandage was really one of the perfect items for us to get in that situation. Just keep it cool here. Remember, Sacrificial Dagger I don't think actually blocks incoming shots, so we're gonna have to be a little bit cautious about the way that we handle that. There we go. And we really don't want to lose these Spirit Hearts, because if we play our cards right, these could end up protecting us and garnering us a deal with the devil several floors into the future. So let's kill the babysitters here. And once they're dead, we have a very finite, non-renewable source of spiders. So we'll reach Peak Spider, grab another key, fight the boss just in time for a D6 to be ready. Oh my god, there's so much cat hair floating around in this room. I don't have any bombs to throw down, but that's okay, as long as I can just kind of, you know, keep him from summoning a trillion bomb flies. But the bomb flies he does summon, if I could blow them up in his own face, that would be excellent. No such luck. Oh, there we go. We got one there. I'm not sure what causes him to reverse direction. Like, it's a random chance or a percentage chance when we actually hit him. Not that that's necessarily something that you need to know in order to actually, you know, defeat this boss, but it is nice to know the mechanics to some extent, at least. I like to remain, you know, semi-ignorant. Maybe that's a term that I'll coin for my own Isaac play. Willfully semi-ignorant. My favorite Third Eye Blind song. Now, keep moving around here. Always got to keep your APM high, and I expect this will be a deal with the devil. Good, we earned it. We got an HP upgrade as well. Probably a little too late to start thinking about these guppy items, and these are both kind of trashy, so, man, not quite good enough, I'd say. As much as I may like to pick up a deal with the devil item, didn't seem that useful. To get, like, 2 hearts for the parasite is just not a great deal. It's like if you're at, you know, you're at McDonald's or something. Wow, that is really lucky. I'm very tempted to actually use, like, bombs or key to try to find the secret room, but then how would we get into the shop? So I think I'm actually going to use one of our keys to go to this golden chest in the hopes that it gives us enough money to, you know, go to the shop. It gave us a bomb, which could give us a secret room, which could give us enough money to go to the shop, but we'll see if this ends up working out for us long term. Yeah, you know, the parasite for 2 hearts is like going to McDonald's, and they're like, hey, do you want to supersize your fries for, you know, 68 cents? And you're like, what's the matter? Couldn't it be 1 more cent, McDonald's? And they're like, well, we don't want to, you know, cause an uproar within our homogenous corporate culture. But anyway, you're like, 68 cents for more fries? I'm a hungry dude right now. That could be a good fit for me. But if they're like, hey, do you want to supersize your meal for $500? You'd be like, you know what? I don't want to be fat that badly. So, that's kind of how I feel about the parasite. At 2 hearts. Hopefully that metaphor makes sense. If there's a hallmark of my channel that I want to be remembered for, it's metaphors that are out of left field, but when you think about it, are a little bit sensible. Maybe Pilkingtonisms, if you will. Or Larry David-isms. Both of which, also bald, I want to point out. Now, with 1 bomb, where would the secret room be? I'm going to try here. We got lucky, and we got enough money to make the shop worthwhile, which is great. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get another reroll, but that's okay. As long as the item in the shop is good, doesn't really matter. Mom's Purse is, in vanilla Isaac, I think good enough to pick up if you don't have a reroll available. If I had a reroll available, I would have totally rerolled it. And hey, actually going to this arcade was very nice, because even though we bought that 15-cent item, we also got 1 penny from the fire, which will give us the ability to possibly spawn an arcade on the next floor. Good news for everybody. Now, we are in catacombs. I can tell just because of the fact that, you know, we have a shitty room. I didn't even have to look at the floor description in order to know that we were on catacombs, because these enemies don't spawn on the caves. The caves is like a nice, you know, Arnold Palmer on a hot day or something like that, and catacombs is more like, hey, you're thirsty, here's like a bucket of motor oil or something like that. So there's multiple ways that we can pick up a key from a bomb here. We could use the bombs or key pill, or we could just trade a bomb for a key outright and save the pill. I'm not sure which one of those is more valuable, but one thing's for sure, we're going to need that... oh, that was really bad, but at least Never mind. I was gonna say at least I got out of it with only getting hit once. We have a weird amount of knockback here. I'm not sure if that's our default knockback and these guys are just, like, light or something, or if this is a bit higher knockback due to, like, skinny odd mushroom or something like that. I don't know. Knockback is one of those weird, like, secondary traits that I haven't much concerned myself with until now. So now, Deals with the Devil could still show up, but in all likelihood we're going to be probably thinking about Deals with the Angel. Which is fine, you know, we've been rolling Deal with the Devil meta for a long time. At least it feels like a long time. Magnet is rerollable for sure. Magnet is better than Monstro's Tooth, so joke's on me there, but they're both kind of bad. I would consider the Magnet like a 3 out of 10 item, and Monstro's Tooth is a 1 out of 10. I don't want to say 0, but if you have another spacebar item, it's very unlikely that that's something you're going to want. So there goes our red heart. I had a feeling we might have that happening here. Even though our rate of fire is pretty solid, our damage is not. Our DPS is merely okay. So I would not hold out much hope for a special room here, but this does feel like the kind of run where if I could just snag a few like vanilla damage upgrades, we don't necessarily need to be carried by a Deal with the Devil or Angel in order to make this run actually work out long term for us. Much to my surprise, we're not going to be fighting Pestilence here. I think like the last 3 or 4 community remix runs I've had, I've gotten to 2nd or 3rd level Meat Boy, so I was like, well, we're guaranteed, or at least strongly likely to get 1 cube of meat, but so far that hasn't happened. By the way, I do know that Skinny Odd Mushroom does come with a damage downgrade. That's fine. I confirmed it with BizSnap back when we did our mirror match ages ago, that it's still worth picking up. Oh, careful. He thinks it's still a positive on a DPS front, and I would be inclined to agree with that. Of course, mine is based on, you know, anecdotal and holistic evidence. I wouldn't use evidence necessarily as the proper term there. His is based on bullshit science and arithmetic and actually looking at the values of how it affects your stats in the game, aka witchcraft. Don't support it. If this was the 1700s, BizSnap's brand of heretical research would not be allowed, and quite frankly, I think there's a lot to be learned from the 1700s. Cat of Nine Tails really, well, I'm not super stoked to be getting that shot speed upgrade, especially when I was already complaining about our knockback, but that's the position we're in. And with 2 keys, I would love to use our bomb to maybe gain access to the secret room and get enough money to go to the shop again. Mostly, I would just love to get, you know, a single trinket. Alright, careful. Careful! This is a bit of a risky business here. Those dudes totally walked over the spikes. I botched it. I'm gonna botch it again! Oh, I almost botched it again. Done it again, y'all. Which Will Smith song is that from? If you answered all of them, you would be correct, but I was thinking for Wild Wild West, or I was thinking of Wild Wild West, which I always am, so you don't even need to question that. Well, 1 bomb would definitely give us enough money to make the shop worthwhile if there's no mini-boss in it. I don't have an arcade, but I would like to go to this boss trap room. The only question is, of course, you know, would we be able to survive it? So it would help me out a lot if maybe we could get a, oh, careful. It would help me out a lot if maybe we could get a tinted, well, not tinted rock, but just a red heart helps, I guess, and we'll come in here and check around quickly. Live bomb? Really? So check this shit out. Bombs are key. Place a bomb down here. Northernlion, what are you doing? You're not gonna have the keys necessary to get into the shop. You're a madman. You're crazy in the coconuts. No, I'm not. I'm not crazy in the coconuts. Commenters. Remember this shit right here? LIMP Biscuit is right here. When I was 12, I never thought that all of the cultural touchstones of that generation would end up being carried with me when I was literally double the age. Yet here we are. Inside of our shop, we find greed. It was not worth it, but it was pretty clever. We used all of our available resources. Maybe he'll be nice enough to drop... Well, you know what? At the very least, he does give us a reroll, which could give us a great item from the item room. And if he gives us the Steam Sale, we could just reroll that immediately. Or we could just pick it up, which honestly, picking up the Steam Sale to reroll, or to save our reroll for the item room might be the proper play. Of course, it's hard to say what the proper play is in Isaac because it's all based on probabilities, and the improper play can sometimes work out better than the proper play. if you take it in an isolated example. But hey, at least we don't have to worry about that because he didn't pay out with the Steam sale. So now the question becomes, do we go to the boss trap room? Let's see what our item room item is first. All stats up. It's such a beautiful item. Am I willing to go down to 1 red heart to make this happen? Here's the deal. We'll go down to 1 red heart in order to get into this boss trap room. If it's an HP upgrade or something better than an HP upgrade, I'll fight for it. And there we go. If it was something worse, I was not going to fight for it. Because I really just didn't want to die when we had an all stats upgrade waiting outside. But I also didn't want to pass up a free HP upgrade on a run where it looks like we're going pretty vanilla-y, you know? This is not a new meta. This is like 2011 meta going on here. Especially if we continue to not get any angel rooms. Alrighty. One more shot here, then we'll have double Larry Jr. to deal with. And by one more shot, of course, I mean 45 seconds of sustained shooting. My mistake. And that all stats upgrade is going to be a very welcome improvement to our DPS. Which is really the sore spot for us right now. Our HP is very good, and it's going to get better. The reason I didn't pick it up, by the way, is because it's going to give us a little bit of HP back. And also, I would have had to hurt myself more to get into the boss trap room, which seemed like a bad idea at the time. Hey, we actually got a pretty worthwhile trinket in the process there as well. Okay, so I'd say this is a little bit of old school Northernlion ingenuity that's worked out in our favor. Mind you, we do have no consumables, which is a little bit disappointing heading down to the next floor, but as long as even if we get Necropolis, I think we'll live. I would just like to be able to get some confidence that we'd get a deal with the devil or a deal with the angel. Either one could be useful. Okay, so the Halo only gives us 1 extra. It gives us a full heart container, basically. I thought maybe it would fill it up, you know, 3 or 4. Different HP upgrades have different amounts of actually healing you. We're going to be able to get very nearly to full HP anyway, so I'm not too sad about it. Yeah, we're only 2 hearts away. And if we could just find a way to get a spirit heart. Oh man, Necropolis. Okay. Well, there's a champion here. This could represent a seam, a way for us to get into that item room or get a spirit heart somehow. If we could just get a bomb dropped from the champion. But we should be smart and kill that champion not over top of that area where we can't get to. So if he could just float on a little bit. Alright already. Please God, float on. Don't you worry. There we go. That chest worked out, and it gave us a good tarot card and 3 bombs. This could also grant us access to the secret room here, which would be amazing. Didn't, but would have given us access to the item room. 2 of spades. Doubles our keys, so it's interesting. We could use that right away. And maybe we will. Ooh, this is a little scary. Just gotta... If we bait these guys out properly, it's okay. I hate when they're not all facing the same direction, though. Like, when they all fire in different permutations. It's all bullshit. Oh, thank you, Sacrificial Dagger, for saving me quite a lot of trouble there. Now that we have a reroll ready, I'm pretty tempted to use 2 of spades right away. I think I'm going to do it. You could make a good argument for why this is a dumb decision. Might be costing us 10 keys in the future, but I want to get into this item room as soon as possible, reroll the crap out of it, and maybe get something better. Then Lemon Mishap, and Harlequin Baby is better than Lemon Mishap, but probably not good enough to justify taking. All this being said, I'd say this floor has gone very well so far. Continue moving it on and around here. Watch out for that green blob. The problem with Necropolis is that, especially with 0 Spirit Hearts, my goal for... Oh, shit. My goal for getting a deal with the Angel or Devil is pretty much predicated upon not taking any damage at all. And there's a variety of rooms in the Necropolis, where I pretty consistently take damage. We did it. Holy crap. Hang the Man could be useful. We'll take that with us. Like this room, for example, is fucking nightmare fuel. It's one of the better rooms with Massive Infamy you could possibly hope for, because there's no rocks in the middle messing you up. At least if you can fly, that's actually better, I guess. But because we can't fly, we're just gonna be tasked with you know, taking the hearts out the standard way, the annoying way, aka Oh, careful. It's actually gone pretty well. Only got one left. He should be nearly dead. There we go. I can't believe that we've actually managed to make this work for as long as we have. Both of those spiders are already dead. If I could just get the turret man to shoot at this side of the map, that would solve some problems. Oh no! I'm not pleased about that. I'm not pleased to be fighting the bloat either. Trying to save this Hanged Man card for a point where I could actually use it to get like some extra consumables. I'm very afraid of this fight. That much should be relatively obvious. We could still snag a special room out of this if we get lucky, though. Just be careful. I think I may use some bombs to try to make... Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to pop Hangman here. Fuck the consumables. At least this way I can fly over the creep. That'll make it substantially easier for me to actually do damage to this guy. So we really just want to... I mean, you don't need me to tell you how to fight the bloat at this point. I'm just going to try to execute standard bloat strategy. Get behind him whenever possible. When that's not possible, dodge the shots, play a little defensively, and pretty much just hope for the best. It's going to be a long one because our damage is not amazing. Alright, we're almost done with this. I wouldn't really pay much mind to the idea that we can get a special room out of this. That was a dumb placement on my part. I should have totally put myself a little bit further down so I could get a little bit of a wider berth here. It's okay, though. Like 3 or 4 more shots, and we finally did it. And we got a Spirit Heart to back us up, which I probably shouldn't have taken yet, but that's okay. And we picked up a... Tears upgrade, which I think is totally acceptable as well. If you give me a second here, I just gotta check on something. Alrighty. Everything's going fine. This is the Devil card, which I also could have conceivably used against Peep. I know the secret room's not gonna be here, but I kind of feel compelled to open golden chests right now. And that one worked out very nicely for us. Got a little bit of extra money and even more keys. You can't rely on that happening very often, but that's okay. Harlequin Baby gets rerolled into Sack of Pennies, which, if it was going to be useful, that time has passed. Alright, I don't even care about red heart damage on the rest of this floor as long as we can live. So, what am I hoping for on the next floor? There is an ideal floor for us. Keep half of our Spirit Heart. Good shop, no greed, and an arcade. And if we get that, we have a very seamy floor. Especially if there's a boss trap room on it as well. We can get a lot of good upgrades there. It's pretty unlikely that we'll end up getting some kind of special room, but you can build a winning run without special rooms. It's just a little bit more... I don't want to say iterative. It requires more brute force, if you know what I mean. You need more items. You can't just pick up a mom's knife. Well, you can in an item room, but it's rarer. You can't just pick up one item and basically win now off the back of it. So, alright, exactly the same room all over again. This room is actually one of my most hated rooms on Necropolis, just because of the weird, like, dodging matrix that takes place. Oftentimes gets me screwed. I have a reroll ready, so I shouldn't have come through with this room yet. I was already in, like, full, you know, finish off the floor mode, which is dumb. Should look for a secret room as well, because there could be a worthwhile item in there. Sometimes secret rooms do contain the difference between life and death. You know, an Ankh. Literally the difference between life and death sometimes. Not just in the game, but in, like, a very, very frank context, or meaning. Okay. A little scared there. 2 of Spades. Pretty good. Kind of wish... I should have backtracked again, but I figured that we were mostly done with this side of the floor anyway. Hopefully we just get something good on our next reroll, otherwise I'm going to have egg on my face. I was also thinking about 2 of Spades. I was like, how amazing would it have been if we'd saved our other 2 of Spades card? Could have like 30 keys now or something. Due to the power of exponentials. Or power of exponents, I guess, to actually act like I can speak English. So we'll definitely use 2 of Spades before we open our shop, but before we do anything... It's more important for us to come down here and re-roll this item room. Hasn't been fantastic play so far on this floor, I'll give you that. Lard is good enough because we've had a couple of speed upgrades. And again, we're going for like a super vanilla-y type run here. Stack up HP, stack up damage and tears, and then just not coast, but, you know, grind your way to success. Which is also R. Kelly's business model. That's not fair. He's actually a very talented singer. He's got a great voice. As much as R. Kelly can become kind of a punching bag for lazy comedy. I can't lie. Trapped in the Closet, man, it's ridiculous and absurd, and that's why I love it. And the man has a great singing voice. Even if he's not necessarily normally in my wheelhouse. How did this become about R. Kelly? I don't know. I'm gonna blame you. Yes, you. Now, this room should be pretty easy. Our knockback is kind of ridiculous, but oh well. Two of spades gets popped, and inside of our shop we have the looter. Not really useful enough for me to pick up, and thankfully we do have one more reroll, so please let me reroll this into something that can give me a substantial benefit. This might be our last shop. I'm not going to be too picky about it. Temperance is actually amazing, especially considering that, whoa, that was a surprisingly weird but also okay payout from that Tinted Rock. As much as I would have loved a Spirit Heart, the Tarot card could be good too. Hopefully it's something I can just use and don't need to take down to the next floor, because I'd prefer to... Well, there's our Spirit Heart. I'd prefer to take Temperance down to the next floor. Well, you know what? Losing the Death card is not so bad. I can live with that. So we're going to use our reroll. We're not going to use our Temperance card until the next floor. Oh, that's bad. Because on the next floor, we could possibly get 2 plays for the price of 1 if there's an arcade. Get a little bit more money. And I would say that's pretty much it for this floor. Losing the Death card, not that big of a deal, but losing that shop kind of sucks. In hindsight, do I wish I bought the ladder? Not really. I mean, it's okay. And I guess at this point, we don't have to worry about saving money, but I still don't think the ladder's that great. Nor is it likely to really give us that much benefit, so let's head downwards. We do have a Spirit Heart. We're not going to get a deal with the devil on this floor anyway, but this floor could still be the most important floor of our time. Yep, okay, bad start. It's that freaking knockback, man. Shouldn't have taken stem cells, maybe. I will always take stem cells, even though I know it's a shot speed upgrade. The only time I won't take it is maybe if we're in like a blue baby or permanent Polaroid invincibility type situation. Alright, so we do have an arcade. This is pretty much what we were hoping for. Especially if there's a boss trap room. But even if there's not, we could get crazy benefit out of this. Good block there. Thank you, Guardian Angel. Come on. Stop teleporting, you dick! What do you think this is? 2008's disappointing sci-fi epic Jumper with Hayden Christensen? Now, the real question is, how much are we going to play this to start with? And the answer is, I don't know. I always just wing it. Oh, well, that's quite nice. I think I'm not going to pick up the blood bag right away. The reason behind that is there's a chance that we could maybe still gain access to a boss trap room, so I'm just going to play this for a little... Wow, okay. Maybe we won't be able to gain access to a boss trap room, but there's 2 HP plus 2 speed upgrades up there, which is, you know, a pretty nice haul, especially when you picked up Lard on the last floor. So our Red Heart HP is going to be through the roof. Now, if we could only get some way to translate that into some actual damage, that would be nice. So again, I'm not picking up those blood bags yet. Money is crazy here. I'm not picking up those blood bags yet. I'm not going to reroll them, though. Because there could be a boss trap room, and if I have to hurt myself a little bit to get into that boss trap room, those blood bags, assuming I survive the boss trap room, will be able to take me back to full HP. Pretty much for sure, I think. Okay. Throw a bomb down here. I doubt it'll find a secret room, but it's worth a shot anyway. Sure, probably shouldn't have picked up that Red Heart if I'm still worried about trying to get to a boss trap room, but I'm nothing if not, you know, an accidental hypocrite. Now, we'll just keep the shots firing here. Should be able to take out 5 of the 6 just by holding this position right here. The last one has not been touched, so it might be a little tedious. Never mind, very easy actually. Quad shot. This is one of those items that we need, or, you know, it's an item that we could conceivably need to get carried, basically, so I'm happy to have it. And we get more keys and the Hanged Man. One day that card might actually prove useful to gain a consumable, as is. We'll end up saving it because we have nothing else to use it on. And the tower is substantially worse, so that's another reason we'll be keeping that. Again, not picking up those HP upgrades just yet. We've only been hit once on this floor, which is pretty exciting for my standards. You know, we're not quite in Dark Boy territory, but still pretty good. Now, a map or a compass would be quite continental, despite the fact that diamonds are a girl's best friend. I think I would still prefer those. I never understood, like, I mean, I get the song. Don't try to paint me as someone who has no, like, self-awareness here. It's just a joke in the making. But, you know, in the song, diamonds are a girl's best friend. It says, a kiss on the hand would be quite continental. Okay. But diamonds are a girl's best friend. Is that the freaking... That's the matchup? A kiss on the hand versus a precious stone? I understand that diamonds are, you know, inherently worthless and only of value because of their perceived, you know, rarity. But anyway, or symbolism. Let's take this pill and see what it does. But it seems kind of unfair to pit a kiss on the hand against something that, you know, you could possibly resell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. It just seems a little bit dishonest, if I might even say so. Probably shouldn't have opened that. I'm not going to go to the library. I made the decision to spend 2 keys on a golden chest instead of going to the library, and I regret that decision, I'll admit it. We could have at least started the possibility of a double item room, but I want to save keys for the chest, and we're at 4 right now, and we're going to spend 1 to go to the shop guaranteed. So, I think it's prudent for us to save some, just in case. Bit of a scary room here. Not at much risk, though. What's this tarot card? The Lovers. So we'll use that, but I don't want to pick up the hearts yet. Again, because if there's a boss trap room, we can still get use out of it. A better question would be like, hey, what do you prefer? Not a kiss on the hand versus a diamond, but how about like a diamond versus like, you know, a down payment on a reasonable house at that point, or it doesn't really, they don't add up. What would you prefer, like a diamond ring or, you know, 6 months of car payments? I want to hear that song. You know, a diamond's pretty sweet, but I gotta get to work. A car is a girl's best friend. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. There is a mini-boss. Oh, now that we have the compass, we can see that there is no boss trap room. So with that in mind, I guess we will be going back, picking up those blood bags, and then just making our way through to the boss here. Again, I'm not really tempted to go to the arcade. I'm sorry, I'm not really tempted to go to the library. I see not really too much of a reason for it. We're going to be able to get nearly to full health without even taking these red hearts. We'll have a reroll just in time for the boss. Now that we have the compass, I think we could conceivably finish this run relatively quickly, for better or for worse. And of course, one of the things I will be looking out for is a deal with the devil on the womb part 1. If we could swing that, if we could trade like 4 hearts for the ability to fly in Mom's knife, this run would be won. It would be over already. If we end up sticking with 12 hearts or more, and just like our damage as it is right now, I think we have a shot, but I think it's a little of a long shot. I don't think it's a, you know, I don't think it would be a Herculean task, to put it in unnecessarily flowery language, but I do think it would be a tall order, shall we say. Red Mom. Red Mom doesn't bother me too much with this loadout. Our individual tier damage isn't that good, but Sacrificial Dagger is like a godsend on the Red Mom boss fight. The only thing is our speed is so high that I'm really wary about taking us too close to Mom, because I could pretty easily just dodge us right into her. Guardian Angel's helping out a lot too, I appreciate it. Fight's almost over, we might get caught in the explosion. We didn't. We got the 8-ball, which we re-rolled into our 13th HP upgrade, and with Mom's Purse we can keep Ace of Spades with us. Down to the next floor. Alrighty. Getting that Spirit Heart means a lot. It truly does. Getting that Spirit Heart means that we have a decent shot at a deal with the devil on this floor. Now you can see, like, our damage is not really anything to write home about. If we had a room with 3 Gertie Juniors, as can often happen on the chest in Cathedral, we'd be in a tough spot. There goes our Spirit Heart as well. And not being able to kill enemies quickly is pretty much the defining characteristic of losing runs. So just be smart here and don't put the doppelganger in a position where he can actually hit you. Yeah? Okay. We can't fly yet, so if we can just knock him out like so, that's good. Temperance is probably a more useful card than the Hanged Man. I know we could use the Hanged Man to maybe get that chest for only 1 key. Yeah, there goes our red hearts. We knew it would have to happen. What am I thinking about using this Temperance card for? I honestly have no idea. But it feels like it's good to have in case we get like a unicorn horn or something in it. I don't know, man. Okay? What's up with all the questions? You a cop or something? Okay, that was a probably the best dodge I've ever done against Massive Infamy, so I'm pretty jazzed about that. Also pretty jazzed to say that I'm pretty jazzed about something. Bad gas doesn't really help us out very much at all. And, okay. We've taken some red heart damage. I wouldn't hold out much hope for a special room here. Maybe if we fight an easy boss. Just not Conquest, please. Which means it's gonna be Conquest, but not Conquest, please. Hey, Teratoma. That's actually pretty solid. So, well, actually, it's not very solid. That's why it's pretty brittle. It keeps breaking apart constantly. I guess a solid can be brittle, pretty much by definition. You can't really have a brittle liquid, can you? It's kind of against the definition of brittleness. Something can't be brittle and fluid at the same time. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'll just be honest about that. Teratoma got killed without getting hurt? Maybe? So you're saying there's a chance. We're gonna take Jesus Juice because it ups our damage, which is probably our most pressing need. And then we get Holy Grail, which is another HP upgrade plus the ability to fly. So we didn't get ability to fly Mom's Knife, but we did get the ability to fly. That's half the equation sorted out there. And we got HP plus damage on this floor, which is, you know, something. Takes us a little closer to our end game. Now we have, like, I'm trying to remember. I think we have 14 HP, which is ridiculous. So we have bombs are key. Yes. I don't think I want it. I'm content with our consumable situation. I'm assuming we'll get one more key before the chest. And if we don't, well, no real big deal, I guess. But I would like to. Oh, we should go back and get that. As content as I am with our consumable situation, it would also be nice to, you know, pick up free bombs that are just sitting there on the ground. Half-heart interval actually is important, so we'll pick that up and then try not to pick up any HP for the rest of the game, but let's be honest, I oftentimes forget. Relatively easy room, all things considered. Our all-stats upgrade, you know, did come with a bit of a range advantage, so should be able to stand pretty far back and still do damage. Our tears is good. Well, our tears, I mean, like, our tears stat is good. Don't pick that up. Our health is great. Our damage is poor. Still. If we could just, like, if we could just get Polyphemus, if we could just get one of the best items in the game, we'd be in a much better position. Yeah, no shit, right? But sincerely, if we could just get one of the best items in the game, our damage would be a lot better. Do we know what one of these is a tears up? Yeah. It's the other one. We don't know. Tears. Okay, well, fair enough. Left this room pretty much the same way I found it as we go into the Mom's Heart boss fight. A boss fight that I expect will use a sad number of bombs. Probably more than I'd like, but should still be able to get through it without taking very much damage at all. And I think the real crux, or a real, like, difference maker in this Mom's Heart fight is going to be doing a little bit of damage with Sacrificial Dagger as soon as the spawn happens. Yeah, because we can still crowd control with a bomb. But if we can get in there and do a little bit of damage with Sacrificial Dagger, I think we can spur on, like, the permanent bomb state faster. So we're going to end up using 6 bombs on this fight, which is pretty solid, all things considered. I'm okay with it, at least. There we go. Permanent bombs. We are going to have to deal with Chubb, but we can fly. So it's not that big of a deal. I hate that the bombs knock Chubb back, so he sometimes ends up getting into my, like, you know, sphere of influence. To use absolutely the most useless term I could possibly use in an Isaac episode. Alright, thank you very much. We don't know what it does. Full health, maybe? Puberty. Alright, that's kind of the same thing, if you don't really think about it. Curse of the Lost. Well, I'm not super lost, because I do have the compass, but I would like to be found a little bit faster. This is my ideal room. Ability to fly. I would like to be able to take out the nubs a little faster, but, you know, we're pretty much safe. They have super low HP. And there's our 4th key. That's where we want to be. Okay. Are you freaking kidding me? One of you has to be dead soon. There we go. Once one of you dies, it opens up a little bit. We can actually dodge without, you know, completely ruining ourselves. There we go. Of course I was going to mess it up if we had to spend too long on it. Now, this room, not that many shots, but surprisingly annoying because these angel fetuses take forever to kill. And in addition to that, the knockback and the teleportation can make them real wily. Good. Good. Do we have 2 half-hearts? I think we have 2 half-hearts, so I might as well pick those up. How am I going to use this Temperance card? I have no idea, man. I think maybe we'll blow it up on the arcade. I don't think it gives us a, or on the chest, not the arcade. I think maybe it gives us, like a reroll pedestal. I don't think it does, but maybe we'll get super lucky and the rules of logic won't apply for once. It's pretty much my motto when it comes to the Binding of Isaac. Maybe we'll get lucky and the rules of logic will not apply this one time. All right, color me surprised. This is a dead end. I really thought we actually, we had it there. All right, well, you know what? I'm doing okay on this floor, in spite of the fact that it's, starting out pretty slow here. We've taken a little bit of damage, but, you know, this is not going to be one of those runs where we steamroll Isaac by any stretch of the imagination. This is going to be one of those runs where we have to work for it, and hopefully we end up getting something beautiful happening as a result. It's a long run. That does happen from time to time. This is an important one here, because if we can actually get a card that's better than Temperance, Careful with that heretical discourse there, Northernlion. Yeah, I know. Temperance can be good, but if we can get like a Sun card, then it's GG. If we get Bob's Rotten Head, then it's, you know, BG no re. Yeah, there we go. Well, what did I tell you? But there is a tarot card there as well. Beautiful. It's the tower. At the very least, we have a reroll pedestal that can keep us company as we make our way down to this Isaac boss fight, right? That's okay. We'll just take out this Gemini from afar. Good from afar, but afar from good for sure. Now, yeah, I was a little concerned that I had set up kind of a shitty crossfire for myself, and getting hit twice on a Gemini fight, well, a double Gemini fight to be fair, but getting hit twice on this fight doesn't make me feel very good about things. This, if I end up losing, which it's looking increasingly likely is going to happen, this is going to be the rare Isaac run where I'm actually, like, totally happy with a loss. Like, this run has been relatively comfortable, but maybe just not comfortable enough to see it through to the end. That Spirit Heart is nice. There is also, you know, still the chance that I can make this run work, too. I would say it's the lesser of the two likelihoods, but certainly, you know, not by much. Especially if we keep getting lucky drops like this. Yeah, we can afford to open one of those, and we get the Joker card, which is actually amazing. So with our next reroll, we'll use that and try to get, you know, one of these Lokis dead. Especially the one that's spawning the flies, so we can, yeah, get those laser bullets out of here. Prefer when you spawn the bomb flies. It makes my life a lot easier when you just explode in your, I was gonna say your husband's face, but I meant in your mother's face? I don't know, they seem to be birthed from the Loki hole. Living the vida Loki hole. Now, sure, one more bomb fly. It's a death sentence. Bloody Penny is actually super useful with the Polaroid for us here. All right, Joker card. Deal with the Angel has Blood of the Martyr. It's a damage upgrade. I didn't even know that was a Deal with the Angel item, to be honest with you. Well, we're gonna be fighting the boss, so I'm gonna take it. And I still kind of don't know that that's a Deal with the Angel item, but hey, free damage upgrade, and it turned our tears red. It means it must be good, right? Temperance. I guess we stick with Temperance instead of the tower. Again, hey, Bloody Penny seems more useful just because we can kill Greed on like triple mini-boss rooms on the chest and get some red hearts out of it. Also gives us probably more flexibility with staying at a red heart interval. But first, we've got to actually live through this blue baby fight. Now, we do have 2 orbitals, one of which may not serve any defensive purpose. We will have a little bit of permanent Polaroid invincibility, if it comes to that. And that'll allow Sacrificial Dagger to do some good work. Now, I'm not going to use any bombs. You know, I think they're pretty much just as likely to hurt me as they are to help me. Trying to run in and get Guardian Angel to do a little bit of damage when it can. Oh, that was bad dodging on my part. Keyboard feels like a foreign instrument in my hands right now. Oh man, this is not good. If we can at least, you know what? If we can at least get through this Isaac fight. Oh, Bloody Penny, work for me. No, if we can at least get through this Isaac fight, there is always that chance that we can get carried on the blue baby fight. Or not on the blue baby fight, but on the chest in general. All right, I broke my rule. I put a bomb down there, and I think that helped me more than it hurt me. But I don't think I'm in a great position moving forward here. Yeah, I think sound the alarms. Starting to blink. Oh, He's dead. There's a full heart. If we can just get to that. Okay, we're gonna live. At least in all likelihood, we're gonna live. That's surprising. You like that temperance play there? It didn't work out for us, but it was kind of funny. Okay, 10 bombs. Celtic Cross. Attack Fly. Dead Bird. Weird situation where, like, I guess we'll take Celtic Cross and leave everything else for now. And because we want to save it for a reroll, and this is pretty much the perfect room to get us that reroll. Alright, so let's come back here and reroll these then. Okay, so like Mr. Mega plus homing bombs are kind of tempting, but at the same time, I kind of just want to keep rerolling until I get something that actually gives me some HP. Because if I don't get any HP, there's no way we're taking out... If we lost so much HP to Isaac, there's no way we're taking out Blue Baby with, like, 1 heart. Even with, you know, Celtic Cross or no Celtic Cross, that's not going to happen. So, I think we end up having to be a little bit creative here. Even though there's some sweet bomb synergies going on there, I think this is one of those times where, you know, your rules are made to be broken. Mr. Mega is a great, it's a great item. It's oftentimes a great chest item. It can make a big difference. But we're gonna say no to that and reroll it in favor of literally like the Rosary would be so much better. Oh, that is awful damage. But that Spirit Heart will keep us alive temporarily. Okay, we got to go through one last room here. So we kill Greed last. Now there's 2 half hearts. If we could just get to them. Oh no! Well, it was a fun run regardless. I had a good time. I hope you did too. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. As always, thanks for watching this classic Isaac run. I'll see you next time.